Nintendo has undeniably made some pretty weird decisions since they entered the video game industry. But in 2012, Nintendo announced that they would be launching a service called Miiverse before their 2012 E3 presentation. Miiverse was a social media service for Nintendo consoles and their games. It was developed by Nintendo, Hatena, and Denyu. Hatena was the company responsible for Flipnote services on the Nintendo DS. Nowadays, they are more responsible for the Splatnet companion services for the Splatoon games. Denyu was the company responsible for Swapnote and the Nintendo Zone for the Nintendo 3DS. The collaborative effort of these three companies led to the creation of Nintendo's social media service, Miiverse, whose target audience was children? Admittedly, while it is a bit of an exaggeration to say that children were the target audience, it's undeniable that there were a ton of children on this platform, and ended up creating the weirdest demographic in the process. The Miiverse platform released on the Wii U on November 18th of 2012, and was released a little later on the 3DS on December 9th of 2013. Miiverse allowed people to pick a game or community that they wanted, and they could make a post under it, text posts, or a post where they could draw something. The platform also allowed people to attach screenshots onto their posts if they were posting while the game was open. People could then scroll through these communities and view other people's posts. People had the option to give the post a thumbs up, or as Miiverse called it, a yeah! Or they could reply to the post with text or hand-drawn images. The platform also allowed you to follow people, block them, report them, and just about everything else you might expect from a simple social media service. I remember first hearing about Miiverse at a friend of mine's house. They mentioned that Miiverse was coming to the 3DS later this year, and he was super excited for it. I didn't keep up with new things very well during this time. The most I had followed was Super Smash Bros. And a few other games that I had played a lot of at the time. I wasn't super interested in it originally, but he seemed really excited about it, so when the time came that it released on the 3DS, I tried it out. I didn't often make posts on it. I don't think I made more than 5 posts on Miiverse in the 4 years that it was available. I spend more of my time browsing posts that people had made, or keeping up with updates for the upcoming Super Smash Bros. Games. The director of the Super Smash Bros. Franchise, Masahiro Sakurai, would make daily posts showcasing an image from the upcoming games, and would sometimes announce things that way as well. It was an exciting time to keep up with things using the social media when I was younger. From what I can personally remember, it was pretty well moderated too. It was super cool looking around art communities on Miiverse and seeing people's creations, or seeing general conversations that people had. Miiverse felt like a huge but simple forum where tons of people got together to talk about games and related things, and it was super awesome for that. It wasn't long before a lot of games began having integrated Miiverse support. Even the main menu of the Wii U had Miiverse support, showing featured comments from featured communities. I happened to play a lot of the games that featured Miiverse support, namely Splatoon, Super Smash Bros., Mario Maker, and Super Mario 3D World. The integrations with these games were honestly really cool. Splatoon allowed you to make a post that you could share with other people in the hub of the game as you walked by them. During Splatfest, which were monthly events, you could also see a ton of posts related to the Splatfest featured on maps that you'd played on and in the hub. It was super cool seeing Splatoon, a game all about turf wars and its distinct aesthetics, feature Miiverse posts as if they were graffiti in a bustling city. It's definitely something that made the Splatfest even more awesome to play. Super Smash Bros. For Wii U had a dedicated Miiverse stage, where you could see posts in the background related to the characters that you were playing as on the stage. You were also able to share fight replays, custom stages, and Mii fighters on Miiverse. This application of Miiverse integration was fun, and between being able to share in-game content and with the game director's daily posts, it was super entertaining to keep up with. Super Mario 3D World had a bunch of collectible stamps which gave you images of different Mario characters and items that you could paste onto your drawn posts for Miiverse. This was a really fun incentive to collect all of the stamps so you could actively share and use them. It was like being able to do something more with an achievement that you worked really hard to get, rather than just some in-game unlockable and some text like most games would give you. Super Mario 3D World also showed comments about the level you just completed at the level complete screen, which was fun. Some posts were also shown on the hub areas. Another game that did comments after you completed a level was Super Mario Maker, but the use of the comments was much more useful here. Super Mario Maker is a game where you make your own Mario stages and you share it with people. Each level in Super Mario Maker had a comment section where you could view comments that people had made about the level to get an idea of whether the level was good or bad. Generally, the use use of Miiverse outside the Miiverse app was a lot better, and it might have just been that the integration into these games was really good. It was a good platform with fantastic integration to other Nintendo games, but with that all said, there were just a ton of, I don't even know how to describe it, terrible posts on the platform? Let's look at a few. Sonic and Shadow are so cool. I wish hedgehogs were real.
It's the new Super Luigi U.
Yeah, and the new Super Luigi U community posted by Jenna.
Thank you, Jenna. She looks really concerned about it.
Very concerned.
So this is essentially child Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, great. Perfect. Love that.
I am failing a class, but at least I have Splatoon.
That's based. That is so
139
based.
people gave this a yeah. This
Let's
person went
go.
viral.
Also, can we mention this is 11:50 a.m.?
They're in class.
Bro is in class.
Well,
Playing
hang on.
Splatoon.
How did that happen? My mom left us at Best Buy.
Something display Splatoon.
I love that.
I like how this kind of implies that this guy was literally just on his Wii U at the Best Buy.
Yeah.
Nope. Go to the next one. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Olympic. That is such a random title.
Netflix community, post by Trevor. I am looking for sexy girlfriend. Noah replies, this is Netflix, not eHarmony. Shut up, go outside and get some game. Trevor posts, the name of the game is Your Mom, and let's just say I'm already playing it.
Got him.
Giga Chad.
Fuck.
Trevor, please friend request and follow me. I'm so lonely in the YouTube community.
Oh, it's Trevor again.
Yeah.
It's Trevor
Wait, he's
again.
back.
I was about to say, is this the same Trevor as from before?
Don't just it. Well, what kind of
gotta be.
stuff do you like/do? Your mom, dude.
Trevor's a menace.
Bro.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, and I'm sure Nintendo knew that, because on August 29th of 2017, Nintendo ended up announcing that Miiverse would be shut down and discontinued on November 8th of 2017. Though it was discontinued, it was very influential to a ton of games still to this day. For example, Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, games that didn't have a Miiverse anymore, kept the Miiverse integrated features from Splatoon 1 and made them into their own things on the newer Splatoon games. People are still able to share drawings and posts the same way they were able to in Splatoon 1, and it's really cool to see on the new Splatfests. Super Mario Maker 2 also supported comments in the same way that they were supported in the original Super Mario Maker. All of the sharing aspects that Miiverse had for games like Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, where you could share your custom stages, custom Miis, and replays were put into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It didn't have any external integration, which all around made for a much easier experience as a consumer. These games still have a form of integration with the Nintendo Switch Online mobile app, but it wasn't anything like Miiverse. It's not surprising that Nintendo discontinued the service because, admittedly, it wasn't great. That said, it was still an interesting thing to see Nintendo try, but it was also one of the weirdest things I think Nintendo has done in recent memory. But at least Nintendo ended up turning it into something a lot better nowadays, with its original integrated features still being used to this day, so it's not like the concept was really a wasted effort. It's a little weird to think about how influential this weird social media really was for some of Nintendo's biggest games. It's also really weird to think about how Miiverse was around 10 years ago, and that the previously mentioned primarily children demographic that it had all grown up. It's natural that time passes, but it's definitely something a little heartwarming to look back at a huge archive of when a bunch of us were really young compared to where we are now, and what we did when we were younger. If you want to look through the archive yourself, there's a link in the description for your viewing pleasure. I spent a while looking around on the archive, and it's super awesome seeing all of the art in all of the different communities, and just the things that people would talk about. It's a little humorous seeing so many different things in one place by so many different people that makes it kind of chaotic to look through. But despite how chaotic it is, it's extremely charming. I saw a few people who posted links to their YouTube channel on the YouTube community, and I decided that I would look and see where they are today. I ended up finding gold mines of content that people had made over the course of the past 10 years that went basically undiscovered. Sure, a lot of the content on Miiverse was considerably cringy, but almost all of it had a certain charm to it that's hard to find nowadays. Maybe it was because I was one of those people at one point, and it's really nostalgic because this is what Miiverse always was. At the time, making posts and reading posts that were, what I would consider nowadays, pretty cringe, I can also find really charming. I find it charming because the lives of the people who were once young are now grown up behind their screens. They're no longer as young as they once were during the Miiverse era. It seems really obvious, but to me it's crazy to think about. Everything about this social media platform was really charming. As a result, I almost wish it wasn't shut down, but I understand why it was. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe and like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you want to see more. This was a shorter video, but I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about and look at.